I like to feed off other people's energy, and yeah, I'm excited to race, really.
There's no Ironman that's more important than the Ironman World Championship in Kona, Hawaii.
You're fine. You're really strong. How do? In the morning. I knew that everything was done. Sam was in a good place. There was no major sort of issue. Sam, when we were walking around and stuff, Sam was relaxed in a good controlled, peaceful manner. If everything goes to plan, yeah, I think the record should be broken, and hopefully, if the weather and everything right, we should be getting closer to the 4-hour barrier.
Two minutes so we can get in until the start line.
I want to win, and I want to give everything I can to see where I can get.
I knew that everything was done. Sam was in a good place.
A special event, I think, a special sport, and you have to live it to know it. And my kind of ultimate dream for me has always been to have us four on the finish line with the tape in our hands. I'm going to strive to make that kind of dream become a reality. I could be leading a race with a 5-minute lead at kilometre 30, and you could still maybe come fifth or 10th even, anything can happen. The morning of the race, I woke up feeling pretty excited, globally pretty good. I slept well, everything was great.
French man, how are you, big fella?
Yeah, very good. Gonna have to be, aren't we?
Oh, fighting words?
Oh, not fighting words, but yeah, gonna have to be. That's gonna be good, and yeah, it's gonna be a big day.
Early in Kailua Bay, the cannon fired, and just like that, the 2024 VFast Ironman World Championship was underway.
First out onto the line.
2 minutes 40. 2 minutes 40. Well done, Sam. He looks good. He looks strong.
I was in a good place, and yeah, I was just ready to race hard, but also be calm and controlled. Those were the kind of words that I kept trying to remind myself.
Patrick Lang is catching Sam, but there's still a long way to go. It's 5 minutes, about 5 minutes or 4 or 5 minutes down. We've still got some time.
Made it to Kona, been here for 10 days already. Setting is pretty epic. So far, training's been going pretty good. Of course, I just came off the back of T100 Ibiza, and then straight into like a big travel to get here. I think it was like 26 hours or something. So arrived straight here and tried to get straight into training. And we went into this cycle where I basically did one very high intensity day with all 3 sports in it. Then one long ride followed by a swim. And then the last day, the 3rd day of the cycle would be a long run.
and then with a swim in that evening, and then a recovery day, and we repeat that 4-day cycle over and over again. We're just about to start the third of them cycles now, tomorrow, and then I'm going to go into a big week, a big cycling week, to kind of really bring my cycling level up. It's kind of weird because on paper, conditions here look great. You know, it says 26 degrees, 27 degrees, not crazy humid. It just hits different here, the heat. I think it's mostly the UV index, which is really hardcore here. But the goal is to really deliver when everybody expects it, and when I have the number one on my back. There's a lot of people that have won one world title, but to win a few takes something else, and the pressure that it comes with and the expectations. So that's my biggest personal challenge, and but I'm in a really happy place at the moment. I'm just really grateful to be here. So yeah, I've got nothing to lose. I mean, I'm 25, I already have a world title. I'm sitting watching a nice sunset and with some great people around me. So yeah, I'm just gonna try and enjoy the next, what is it, 15 days as much as possible to race day. Still put in some hard work and yeah, see what the outcome is.
My name is Bob Babbitt. Hawaii to me means everything because I built my career on Hawaii. I came over here in 1980 to do the third ever Ironman triathlon over on the island of Oahu, and when I finished that race, I knew that I was a different person.
Hawaii is the home of Ironman for me. The history of Hawaii and to say the actual triathlon, it's been around for a long time. I think 1978 was the first Hawaii Ironman World Championships, and it's grown ever since. This is the true home of Ironman triathlon.
In 1977, there was a relay around the island of Oahu called the Perimeter Relay, and at the award ceremony after that relay, there had been an article in a magazine called Sports Illustrated saying that Eddie Merckx, the 5-time winner of Tour de France, was the greatest endurance athlete in the world. Why is a cyclist the greatest endurance athlete? Why isn't it the runner? Why isn't it the swimmer? And Commander John Collins, who had done the early triathlons in San Diego in 74 and 75, now living on Oahu, he got up and said, we're going to find out once and for all who's the greatest endurance athlete. We're going to take the Waikiki rough water swim, which is 2.4 miles.
We'll start off on the round the island bike race, 115 miles. We'll knock 3 miles off of it, because that puts us at Aloha Tower, the starting spot for the Honolulu Marathon. About 140 miles, we're going to do it all in one day. That's right, and whoever crawls across the finish line first, we'll call him the Ironman.
In February of 1978, 15 people gathered on the beach, Sans Souci Beach in Oahu, and 12 of them ended up finishing the 2.4 mile swim, 112 mile bike ride, 26.2 mile run, and the winner, a taxi driver from Waikiki named Gordon Haller, he ended up winning the Ironman. No roads were blocked off, there was no aid stations, you had to have your own support crew, and he won because the guy who was leading the race, John Dunbar, his crew ran out of water during the marathon, so they gave him beer. So for the last 6 miles, he was sort of staggering on the road drinking beer, and Gordon Haller ran by him and gained 30 minutes on him in the last 10K and won the first ever Ironman Triathlon World Championship. I think what makes this race so special is a number of things. One, it's in Hawaii.
In this kind of like paradise island, there's fish and coral and everything's so nice, and then suddenly you kind of come and put this really hard event. What I love about Ironman is how honest it is and how brutal it is. You know, it's kind of like that last man standing.
And there's all the tradition, because you mentioned any triathlete, Natural Energy Lab, Hawi, you know, the winds, the lava fields, people know it. And they've watched it on so many of the athletes today, Sam Laidlow to begin with, have watched this on television, have grew up watching this.
To be honest, I think I can't remember the specific age I was when I first watched Hawaii, but I can kind of always remember it. I think people would come out on training camp with us, they would all speak about Hawaii, and then my dad would often watch it when the race is on, and obviously when we're in Europe it goes through the night, so it generally involved very late nights, and often I was the only one staying up to watch it. I was just always kind of amazed by it.
And when you get here, you realize how special it is, because every single day you ride the Queen Highway or ride out to Hawi, The weather can be different. The wind changes. It could be in your face, both on the way out, on the way back. It could be a crosswind and blow you off the road. It's the unknown here that adds to the mystique. The other thing that makes this race so special, any other race throughout the year, if people are racing other events, they might be thinking, I'm sort of racing through this one, and my real focus is Challenge Roth. My real focus is something else. This race is the high point for people's season, and they know that it can change their life. When Sam Laidlow got second here a couple of years ago, that was so impactful. That changed everything in terms of sponsorship, in terms of awareness. This race does that. I think Sam got more awareness from finishing second here than he did for winning the Ironman World Championship when it was in Nice last year. This race is that important. 2,500, 2,600 people coming to do the race. You had French people coming in and English, and people want to be here. And the other side that people don't take into account is when people aren't here during race week, but they're coming here to do training camps, to be used to the conditions. Getting acclimated to the heat, getting acclimated to the wind. For some people it happens easily. For others, it takes forever. Mark Allen, one of the most decorated triathletes of all time, it took him 7 times to win here. It's a learning process to learn this event. You know, it's, from my perspective, there isn't another Ironman event that comes close to the atmosphere here. And there's no Ironman that's more important than the Ironman World Championship in Kona, Hawaii.
The results are always planned, so yes, it was an amazing achievement. I knew he was fit and strong, fitter and stronger than he'd been before. Did all the stars align for him to actually win, and in this case, yes, it did.
Well then, Sam, go on, keep it going. 6 minutes, they're not catching you, they're not catching you. Looking good, keep relaxed. Come on, push, 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 push.
Sam Laidlow is making the dream come true.
4-year-old in his home. I genuinely didn't believe it, you know. Champion Sam Laidlow of France, Germany's Patrick Lange, and Magnus Ditlev of Denmark.
Nice was a different course completely. I should imagine it's, in theory, doesn't really suit Sam, but because we live in a mountainous area, okay, on the further south than sort of Nice itself, we had really good preparation. We know what the course was like. We've been there. It was easy for us to actually visit and test different things on and look at the actual plan of the actual race itself. So for me, Nice was planned to actually win, but again, you don't know until the end of the race if they're going to win or not. You can have the best prepared person, and something might go wrong.
Last year, I became obviously the first French person to win the World Championships, the youngest person to win the World Championships. With it being in Kona, with people still kind of like talking about it, I've kind of now finally absorbed that world title, and I don't feel that like it was kind of stolen in a way. I kind of felt this kind of weird imposter syndrome, I think, most of the year. It wasn't Kona, but it is a world title, and I'll never lose that. So yeah, again, I feel like I've made it, and but that doesn't necessarily mean I'm going to be complacent, and I do want more, and I do want to win this race in particular. But yeah, as I said, it comes with a lot of weight as well, and I do almost to some extent envy kind of the Norwegians at Magnus, who are definitely much more chill this week and have probably lost a lot less energy. After the World Championships last year, obviously I had a massive high for like 2-3 weeks, and then kind of slowly kind of fell into a bit of a depression, a bit of a low, let's say. Simply because I kind of achieved that goal of me trying to become world champion, and now suddenly I didn't know, like for the first time ever, I was waking up in the morning not knowing exactly where I was going.
After Nice, yes, Sam struggled to get sort of his motivation and everything to pull together. It's always very, very difficult. Actually being world champion becomes, it's a heavy crown, shall we say. It takes a lot of stress, and a lot of people want a little bit of you. and that just is fatiguing. And so a combination of that, Sam also achieving his lifetime ambition of becoming the world champion, the world Ironman champion, it obviously it makes you sort of go, well, what next?
I'm Dr. David Spindler. I'm a professor of neuroscience and sports psychology. I work with Sam Laidlow. I work with how your brain functions and how that works with the central nervous system to produce performance. I got a phone call, I think, or an email. He introduced himself and we started to work together just before his World Championship victory in Nice last year. And then from that, he had quite a period of a down period, which happens quite a lot in professional sport. He definitely felt lost. So what we had to do was reset some targets and change some goals and figure out what he actually wants, not only within his sporting achievement, within life itself.
Yeah, how can I move forward? What's the goal? What's going to motivate me?
And what causes it is the fact that they've hit all of their targets, and Sam being of such a young age, hitting those targets. And he's definitely changed his outlook a little bit. He definitely wants his sport. Doesn't control his life, but it makes his life a little bit more fulfilled than what it had in the past. It's not just sport; it's life as a whole, complete package. And yeah, that's definitely changed in the last 6 to 8 months. That's for sure.
I spent 20 years of my life waking up with that single goal, and now I had to fix some new ones, and I think that takes time. And yeah, I think now it's very different for me. The mentality about, of course, I want to win the race, but for me it's more than just about winning races.
This period here, it's as a coach and as a parent are two different things, but at the same time they're both exactly the same. Sam is the athlete, yeah, I'm just here to actually help support him as a person, same as a parent is there to actually support their children. I was there if he needed me, but I was also there or not there if he didn't need me. So it was a real sort of balance in between. And obviously it's quite stressful at times, but again, it's like any family relationship. You go through highs, you go through lows. But again, as a parent and as a coach, I was always there to actually support him. And it took 3-4 months for him to actually get into a routine and go, no, this is what I actually want to do, and get the focus back for Kona.
However, he's come out of it really well, and I'm really proud of him, the way that he's dealt with this situation.
Meters, nice easy swim down.
After the World Championships as well, I started kind of questioning absolutely everything, and I started questioning if it was me who wanted to become world champion, or if I was just kind of born into a family and surrounded by people that told me I was going to be world champion. And so for the first time I kind of questioned effectively my existence. I spoke about it with my mum at some point, and she was saying that kind of we're all born into a situation, and you have to accept that, you know, the cards that I got dealt were amazing. You know, I have a very stable, loving family and supportive family. And that's I feel very grateful for. But on the flip side of that, kind of, I've also had so much support and kind of so much pressure almost put on me from an early age to be world champion, not just by my family, but everybody that kind of came on camp to our house. It was almost kind of like destined, you know, I felt that it was destined to be. Now again, it's different, because I feel like I've accomplished that, you know, and that world title will never go away. I guess now for me it's about the personal challenges, and for me to just kind of set myself goals that I think are unreachable, that I think are scary, and hopefully that can inspire people to do the same.
Goal is obviously to come and win a number of world championships, but also it is to make to influence the actual sport itself and hopefully bring new athletes into it.
The way I'm going into this race is that I'm going to do everything I can to win, but if I don't win, it's not the end of the world, you know. I feel so grateful that I'm here with my team, with amazing sponsors, and that I've made it effectively as a pro triathlete. You know, that was really my dream when I think about it, was to become a pro triathlete, and I've definitely done that. Yeah, so the season has kind of obviously been based around this race, and it was a slow start to the season. Yeah, came 8th and 9th in Miami, and then DNF in Singapore. Then made some changes in my life and kind of really focused more on kind of what got me to the top in the first place, which was having a very simple lifestyle, being surrounded by my family. And then kind of slow build. So then I had a big block into Victoria, where my training had gone very well into Victoria, but unfortunately I just didn't quite perform how I wanted to. Like, I made some big mistakes, just going too hard in the swim and overheating. Then I learned from that mistake, and in London I think I made a very smart decision in kind of not putting a wetsuit on there when everybody else did. I managed to win that race.
Red Hot Falls. You are the champion. I said it. Yeah, tactic.
It was insane because it's been a really rough start to the season. Yeah, I really needed this one. It means a lot.
And then went to Ibiza after having worked really hard on my run, and had a really good run, but wasn't quite good enough to beat Martin, where I came second, but still a very positive race. And then since then I've been working quite hard on my biking, and so now I mean, I can't complain. Obviously we always want to be fitter and do more, but relatively to any other race I've showed up to, I think that I feel confident with the work I've put in.
Quick.
Today, Misha?
Swimming. Yeah, so we're going to do swim for about 6,500 yards. Then we're going for a run, so we've got an interval run today, which is 8 times 1k, not too long, not too hard a session, and then they've got a turbo training session tonight. So that's the basic program for today. Go. Okay, 6 100s I am. Going on 130, see what your time you're coming in, I might change that, alright? It's 58, 61, 60 and 60. Good.
See ya, have a good day.
Have a safe run.
Thank you. Good. Today's been good. Yeah, I'm happy with the training so far. It's obviously hard coming into the heat, but they've been here back to just over 10 days, so they're starting to adapt to it quite nicely. Today's swim session was a good, strong, but not too hard, but a long session. And then the run session here was just to get a little bit of speed and see what happens to their core body temperature and how they cope with the heat and against their lactate, and all good.
finally committing to this race. Yeah. Whoever beats me, fair play. So I'm working as hard as I can. Oh, somebody's probably working harder, but we did the same session 4 days ago. Well, a longer session. Not quite as intense, but longer. I haven't effed up a session yet since I got here really, so as long as I can keep doing them. Like, it wasn't a crazy session, but we're just trying to stack the days. We did 6k, 6.5 yards, 6,500 yards, swim this morning, and 8 by 1k on running, threshold set, and then now that 2-hour turbo with some pretty hot conditions. So, and tomorrow we have a long ride. So, yeah, big day.
Sorry. Maybe next time we can go to the one marathon and come with you.
We've got 4.5 hour ride into probably 45 minutes to an hour run, depending on how I feel. And that's it, then I'll chill. That'll be most of the day, to be honest. So, yeah, we had a hard, high intensity day yesterday, so today will be more like just kind of zone 2 work. So, gonna have this second bit of breakfast, and then get going.
Difficulty is the UV, the heat, and the wind. That's sort of the areas that it really does depend if the island gods are playing the right way. Will it help or not? As you can see at the moment, it's pretty windy out there as we're coming up to sort of the turnaround.
None of my wheels are seated.
So we've got a flat tyre, quite common on this road. We've struggled to get one tied. This is probably a third or fourth time we've had it so far. We're being stopped. Good morning, officer. At 40 miles an hour.
Okay, my radar says otherwise.
Okay, okay.
Please drive safe.
Thank you. They stop you? Yeah. What for? Going too slow. Too slow? Going too slow, no seatbelt, and him hanging his head out of the door.
What's it, son?
My new bike. My new road bike. For fuck's sake. I mean, I'm happy that I've got this, but this is just nutrition.
Perfect. All right. Thanks a lot. Have a good day.
You too.
New bike day. Look how light it is. I can carry it with one hand. One wheel.
I got no excuses.
I now have a road bike that's exactly the same as my TT bike with the same pattern. It's pretty sick. I mean, it looks sick. I'm feel very lucky that a few years ago I had no bike sponsor. Well, last time I was in Kona I had no bike sponsor. Now I've got all the gear, so cool.
Yeah, super nice.
C'était bien quoi?
It was amazing. The most amazing ride of my life. I did 2 hours and 7 minutes, average heart rate of 102 beats per minute. Very slow.
Hello. Hello. How are you?
How are you? How are you, David?
The whole day.
At least this way you go back.
Didn't have to try it.
I'm here now anyway, Richard.
My mum and Jake arrived tonight, so we just had some dinner. And gonna get busy now. Gonna get busier and busier.
Great ball, dude. Thank you. Les calculs sont bons, mais t'en fais un par an.
100 meters hard, 100 meters easy. Okay, and just repeat that. So 50 hard, then 100 hard. Okay, we'll take a 10-second difference. Don't go sell for 10 half 5 seconds. You ready? 2, 1, go.
Just finished session 1 of the day. Quite short, but a little bit of speed work. So we did we did some 50s and some 100s. 100 yards. I was doing about 56, 57. Now we got a run, 5x2k, and yeah, it's really warm today. The sun's much stronger, I think, than normal.
Sam's saying he's feeling a lot more controlled on this running, so he can keep his lactate under control a lot more. It feels a lot more comfortable, but that's quite often the case on the longer runs. So we're doing 2Ks instead of 1K that we did last time, and Sam always starts to feel he's in control of what is happening to him when he's there. When the shorter stuff, he's just basically just got to go hard and hope for the best.
I can do another one.
No. We're doing 10-minute easy. Yeah.
I think that's the shot that everyone wants to see right now.
Hopefully that's what we're going to see on race day. Just your arse.
Exactly one week out from the race, so yeah, the mindset's kind of shifted in the last few days, especially yesterday. For the first time, I really kind of felt like all the pressure suddenly come up to me, kind of creep up. So my mum and Jake arrived 2 days ago, and also David arrived 4 days ago. I'm kind of so used to just doing my own thing with my dad and with quite a small team that this kind of feels a bit difficult. And yesterday I felt like a ball of stress, and like my cortisol levels were super elevated, so unfortunately I just couldn't train. I kind of realise now that everyone's here for me, and it kind of all sets in that kind of this whole kind of project and trip is only really enjoyable if I have a very good 7 hours 40 minutes of racing. So yeah, it's a first for me to come to a race with like number 1 on my back, and especially a world championship. So I definitely feel that I'm learning, and the biggest challenge for me this year is really that I want to be able to deliver, whether that means a win or not, it doesn't really matter, but I want to be able to deliver a great performance for me, and show my best ever numbers on the day when it matters the most, really.
Probably the same as last time, just how long the practice. for the run. Don't worry about.
Not weighing on his mind. It's just like sort of. I will be surprised if he actually has a good session today. He's looking for an escape from not performing. My expectations, I would just like him to see him finish the session in good shape. That's my expectation. With Archer leaving the house and Michelle and Jake and everything, there seems to be a lot of Sam seems to be a lot of stress being put onto Sam at the moment, and I just hope that sort of calms down and he has a confident session to be able to come out feeling that he's actually still in amazing shape. Good, yeah, training's going well. A good session this one. I'm really happy with how he feels, given after yesterday's training session, so positive.
Oh, 7.5 out, 7.5 up the back.
That way or that way? That way. You're going that way.
Heart is just through the roof. Nuts.
What was it?
What?
When then?
60 away. In about 10 seconds. In about 10 seconds, they were okay then after.
You've been pissing a lot. You never stop on the bike and piss like that.
Yeah.
Again, it can be when you sleep. Depends on how well you slept. But I need to have a look at the data
I
to
sleep
say.
super well.
I've got to have a look at the data, really, before I can say anything. Because both Dave and I thought you were actually running really well there.
We did 3 hours. Sorry, I say we. I did 3 hours. We have 2 times 50 minutes at Ironman pace on feel, like without looking at watts or anything. Just only seen heart rate, and I averaged. I don't know. Actually, I haven't looked yet. I know that the whole ride I averaged 45.3, which is faster than race pace, so that's good. But obviously I didn't take I didn't go to RV, so probably a bit faster than normal. And what else? Then did a 15k run off of it at that kind of Ironman pace or heart rate feel, but my heart rate was a bit higher. I didn't feel as good as last time on the run, but better than yesterday at least. At least I got the run, like the whole session done. So yeah, tomorrow I got a long day again, and then that's it really. Then it'll be race week and ease off.
How are you? Yourself? Nice to see you.
Yeah, and you. Not too jet lagged? No?
We have a few goodies in the car.
Ooh!
Hey, good, and you?
Isn't it? Let's see.
If you've got a unit here.
It's okay to fit the race on this bike?
Yeah, that's the idea.
I really want to try and fit this on the bike if we can. The 64. Because we're going really fast. Because honestly, we're going.
You definitely mean it seriously, yeah?
Yeah, no, because there's moments where we are like going where I'm spinning out.
Mm-hmm.
And if there is a tailwind, I think this could make a big difference.
Okay, good.
You want to check it out real quick? We went shopping.
Wow, we are. That is sick.
Put your hands on it.
Nice. Yeah, it's insane. Yeah, because definitely that's the problem now with more aero positions is that you get less airflow to the arm,
exactly.
right?
Yeah.
And I sent Luca the and this is what, it's foil or something?
That's Kupfer tape, and it's also more when you know it when it's completely wet. When you make it completely wet, then it's cooling also here on this side and also inside.
Yeah.
And here in the middle.
You seen this, Rich?
No.
My cooling cockpit.
Brilliant. Yes. Yeah, absolutely. That's cool. That's so cool, isn't it? Good.
That's gonna be insane.
Yeah. Awesome.
Yes, brilliant.
From this material?
So many people are going to be talking about this.
Yeah, that's the idea.
Beautiful.
But yeah, the team did test it out and
Beautiful.
stuff like that. It's just like the copper layer,
Yeah.
and then with the mat and everything,
Yeah.
the cooling should be
Yeah, the cooling
significant.
should- yeah, huge enough for the wrist.
Yeah, exactly.
Your arm's too big to see.
Trust me, we had a full-on engineer
Yeah.
just put aside to work on this. Just think about his salary. Like he makes 150 grand a company, and he spent pretty much half a year just to focus on that. So the resource that alone from Lucas, and that's not what goes in any number. It's very difficult to put an exact number on it. So Lucas also built a machine just to test the cockpit, which I mean we have to make sure like whenever you're riding it and something would have happened.
When I was training with Arthur, he had like I had a 62 and he had a 58, and I think a lot of people were 58 or 60, and like he could just do nothing and I could just take off, you know. And this is probably the best place, like if we are in a situation where there's a lot of people, like a pack or something, then this is the best opportunity to get away.
Definitely, definitely.
Yeah, that doesn't look good.
Cool. Thanks, guys.
See you tomorrow.
See you tomorrow.
See you tomorrow. Canyon came with some exciting new kit. The new cockpit that I've got, not only have they like printed it the same as the frame, so like the whole bike will look just epic. We've also got the gold Canyon sticker on the side, and more importantly, they've kind of come up with this whole cooling system, which hasn't been done, I don't think, in triathlon, which is awesome. So yeah, I'm excited to reveal the bike tomorrow, and yeah, I think it's definitely going to get people talking, and yeah, it's always good to be at the forefront like that of new ideas. I did have the idea, and apparently Ergon were already on it, so yeah, and Canyon work with Ergon, so it's great, very exciting, and yeah, I feel very, very privileged to be in this position.
Yeah, so we've got 3 pairs of shoes here, different shoes that he possibly could run in, and so we'll find out which one he feels are going to be the best ones to race on. The new one is the new Cilio that's out. It's meant to be a very fast shoe. We're a bit concerned that it might be a little bit too soft, so it might be fast to start off with, but as the body gets fatigued, it'll start collapsing. But Sam should be able to tell straight away. The feedback from this new shoe is really, really good, but it'll have to be something special if it's going to be better than Rocket X2.
I'm going to choose the new Cielos for the race. They just seem to absorb the shock a bit better and be more dynamic.
We're 3 days out from the race now, and Sam, it looks good, everything's going well, it seems relatively controlled. Obviously the nerves are starting to get in. The course will go really well. Training has been controlled, everything, the numbers, his data and everything else are great. Again, on the day we can't predict what's going to happen at the moment. I'm quite happy with where he's at, and I think he'll have a stunning course if everything goes smoothly.
He's in a really good spot, actually. He's nice and calm, he's controlled, and as relaxed as possible going in to one of the biggest events of the year.
We made this
You
guy.
invented him.
Yeah, we literally created him.
To say to Sam tomorrow, tell him to be calm, happy and grateful. Just make sure I can control everything I can. I genuinely believe that if I do give it everything, get everything right, I can win, and that's why it's also more stressful. So yeah, I would tell him to stay calm. I'm gonna eat this rice and chicken, and then I'm gonna go to sleep, and yeah, wake up feeling good and energized and excited. Yeah, I live for this day, so It's going to be cool. See you tomorrow, mate. Have a good day.
Last year in Nice, I said it's time to fly. The message is inspired by a Hawaiian word called mana, which is like the Hawaiian energy and the Hawaiian spirit that goes back for your ancestors and through your history. So I've said tomorrow he needs to let the mana flow through him, and it will give him the extra power he needs to fly again.
At the morning of the race, I felt relatively calm. I knew that everything was done. Sam was in a good place.
I woke up feeling pretty excited, globally pretty good. I'm still just a kid who likes to race. I feel like a lot of people, like everyone around me, is nervous, and I just kind of almost feed off that and really enjoy the lead into the race. And yeah, I'm excited to race really. Got all my stuff on my bike that I needed, put my nutrition there. Me and Arthur kind of just chilled a bit in our corner. This time they called us quite early, and I was obviously the first athlete to get called up into the water. When I'm on the start line, to be honest, I'm mostly focused on the job that's at hand. I'm also trying to soak in the atmosphere. I was in a good place, ready to race hard but also be calm. Didn't really feel any different to 2 years ago. Of course, there was much more kind of lights and cameras on me coming in as the defending champion, but really nothing changes.
The 2024 VinFast Ironman World Championship was underway.
And yeah, my strategy was to kind of sit with the front swimmers, not lead the swim, and then if I felt that the pace wasn't maybe high enough, I would at some point accelerate to try and break the pack a little bit. And that's exactly what happened. So I kind of set off in Ben Canute's feet, and again felt very, very comfortable. Yeah, I don't think I was swimming kind of over zone 2. And I had a look around, I turned around and did some backstroke, and then realised everybody was there. The only kind of technical part of the swim is a turnaround, because there's a few buoys and it's easier to stretch out people there. So I decided coming into the buoys to accelerate a bit, and I think that's where Magnus broke back from the main front pack. So that was a good decision. Then I finished the swim kind of just in Menno's feet. He came back past me again, and I just tried to stay calm. And in my head, the strategy and the plan was to not put socks on in T1 and to go out hard on the bike.
On the way out, Sam was cycling hard, trying to break everybody, trying to get them as tired as he possibly can.
I was very quickly alone, and as soon as I got on the bike, I knew that I had just had good legs. I did, yeah, the first 10 minutes kind of around 400 watts. In terms of normalised, it was higher, it was more like 430 maybe, because there's a few moments where we weren't pedalling. That was, for me, the ideal scenario for the bike in terms of strategy. Do 20 minutes hard, and then either I'm already with Magnus, or Magnus would slowly catch me up, and then we would run together and it would kind of be a run battle, or in a really ideal scenario I'd be on my own. But yeah, I wanted to make sure that first hour was hard enough so that kind of the packs kind of broke a little bit. And yeah, I also wanted to kind of have a bit of a mental advantage over Magnus.
151. 151 is pulled away. Oh, nice.
The first aid station, I missed all 5 bottles. That was kind of the first small mistake or slip up that I made. So the following aid station, I took the nutrition from the sponsor of Ironman, which is Mortal Hydration. I just downed the whole bottle to kind of catch back what I had done before. And bearing in mind, I'd only had electrolytes on my bike. I did have a bit of water on it, but I hadn't drunk that yet. And I drank some more electrolytes. And I think from there onwards, I just kind of overdosed my body with too much salt and not enough water.
At the moment, everything is going well. He's got a 2.5 minute lead, I think it is, the turnaround pointer over Ditlev. Which is really good. This time, sort of 2 years ago, they were together, so I'm really happy in how everything is going. I just hope everything is just getting the nutrition and getting the values and everything else in ready for the run itself.
My body was still fine, the carbs were going down. Once I got to the turnaround, I had 2-minute 40 lead over Magnus. And that's what the turnaround is also the first moment in the race where you can kind of see where everyone is, how the race is playing out. And then there was a massive main pack and they were all riding, of course, 12 meters behind each other. I knew that pack was going to run quite fast because they're saving a lot of energy riding that way. Patrick is a better marathon runner than me, and if I wanted to win the race, this was my only strategy. I couldn't have sat in that pack and tried to win the race like that. And I also knew that the second half of the Ironman bike leg is probably my biggest strength. 2 years ago in Kona, that's where I made all of the gap compared to my competitors pretty much. Yeah, I was confident that on the way back I could probably get the gap even bigger, and that's what happened.
2 minutes 40, 2 minutes 40, well done Sam. Keep it relaxed, 2 minutes 40. Now way down, 9 minutes. He looks strong. In my eyes, he looks slightly stronger than Ditlev climbing up here. But then again, it's a bit of a climb, it depends on the gears. So yeah, I'm quite happy. I'm happy at the moment where he's at and how he looks.
I could kind of see the time on my computer. I could see that the bike record was going to fall. Yeah, I mean, I felt good. I was riding mostly to heart rate. Yeah, it was a very solid ride, but it definitely wasn't over-paced. The only thing was on the way back, my stomach was kind of growing, and I really needed to wee. And sometimes I would stop pedaling to try and urinate, but it just wasn't coming out. So that's the first time that happened to me. But yeah, at this point I was still okay. And yeah, I came off the ride with a 6-minute lead, and then 8 or 9 minutes, I think, to the main pack.
Blistering speed of Sam Laidlow setting a course record out on the course today.
3:57, an unbelievable time for Laidlow, the Frenchman.
Coming to T2, I felt fine. My legs were obviously a little bit heavy because I took a risk in doing that ride. I broke my own record by 7 minutes. But at this point, I mean, I'm not really focused about that. All I'm focused on is doing my race.
I saw him on the run, which I never did before. For the first probably kilometre and a half, I could see he was actually quite relaxed and moving faster than anybody else around him. I was really happy and really confident.
And in my head at that point, I was just trying to stick to my heart rate that I know I can do during a marathon, and making sure that I keep putting the nutrition in. During the whole race, the nutrition plan in terms of carbs had gone really well. The only thing was I think I took too much sodium on the bike compared to the water. And this is why I was having this kind of like water retention almost, and maybe almost overhydrated.
Sort of coming back up Palani Hill and then taking the left to run along the Queen K, you could start to see on the television and everything else that it was starting to fall apart. Now at that time I didn't know what the issue was.
In my head at kilometre 10 I was going for the record. I was confident that I could run at least a 2:43 marathon in these conditions because I'd done that 2 years ago.
Patrick's running very fast. He's starting to get catched up, but probably not enough, or hopefully not enough.
Patrick Lang is catching Sam, but there's still a long way to go. He's 5 minutes, about 5 minutes or 4 or 5 minutes down. We've still got some time.
For 10 kilometres I felt normal. I mean, it's always hard, but I was confident that I could perform. And then about kilometre 14, 15, my heart rate was kind of slowly dropping. Okay, that I really had to kind of find a solution, because when your heart rate starts dropping like this, it generally means you're out of carbohydrates, out of sugars. Before everything went wrong, I decided to take like 2 gels and some Coke, which is kind of more like just take a bit more nutrition than I needed to, but it didn't impact anything.
I just thought he was starting to run out of nutrition, and therefore he just then started to struggle.
My stomach had just completely shut down, and I'd been putting the gels in for the last 2 hours, but just my body hadn't been absorbing the carbohydrates. And then maybe another 2 or 3 kilometers down the line, like my heart rate just goes straight down. So normally I run my whole marathon around 150 BPM, and here suddenly I was running at 110, and I just can't push my body anymore. My body's just gone into shutdown mode. Still have maybe a 5-minute lead to Patrick. Yeah, at that point I knew the win was gone way before Patrick came past me. So the actual moment where he passed me was nothing, it didn't switch my mindset then. My mindset had already switched before. I mean, I felt really terrible. My head was kind of like spinning, and I was struggling to even walk straight. It definitely wasn't heat, I didn't feel hot. It simply was like the lack of carbohydrates. I just ran out of carbs, and I think that my stomach just wasn't absorbing what it needed to. I felt this like really big swelling in my stomach and a real need to urinate again, but I just couldn't. At the next aid station there was a portaloo, and I went in there and decided to try and wee, but nothing came out. From there onwards it was just a big mental battle to get to the finish line.
Get some sugar, get more thing, get it. I've done everything, I've had so much.
Keep going, you're strong, come on!
Don't do any lasting damage. Yeah, I'm up here, it's up to you. Good body.
I still wanted to give 100% of what I had on that day. There was no point where I decided to give up. I just tried to get to the finish line as quickly as possible, but I was suddenly running, I went from running at kind of 3:45, 3:50 kilometer pace to suddenly running much closer to 5-minute kilometer pace. Yeah, it was very long. Them last 25k felt, my stomach was just getting worse and worse. It just felt like my stomach was about to explode. I was just kind of surviving. The last 2 kilometers were really bad. I was just fighting not to walk. As soon as I crossed the finish line, just completely empty and in a lot of pain. My stomach was really bad, so in my head I just sat down, and actually I realised that like my mum was there and stuff, and they would kind of pick me up, and we walked in a medical tent. And that's what happens in Ironman, and especially here in Kona. I'm trying to push my own limit, race the way that I know I can, but on an amazing day. And that for me, I took big risks in trying to win the race. For me, I could have sat in the pack the whole day and ran maybe a 2:40 marathon and come second, but it's not how I see my career. I want to win, and I want to give everything I can to see where I can get. I've grown and learned from those experiences before where I have stopped, and I feel that if I can, especially in a race kind of where it's such a big race and all the best athletes are here, I want to show respect to the other athletes. Yeah, I mean, I've never been scared of failing, you know. I don't really care what people think about me if I do fail, and for me, yeah, I just showed that you have good days, you have bad days, and yeah, I'm willing to learn from them experiences. And I mean, I'm personally kind of frustrated that I didn't achieve my lifelong dream, but equally what brings me pleasure is chasing that dream, and one of the advantages is that I still get to chase that dream, so that's cool.